for Lori and Friends provided by Waste Management. Think green, think Waste Management.
Hello and welcome to Lori and Friends. All right, I have a new friend. I know I don't usually have new friends. This is David Hoy from David Does Dishes.
Hi, everyone.
So he wants his own cooking show because he thinks that it looks easy to him, right?
I didn't say that.
So what I'm going to do, yeah, he did say that. So
Okay,
he's
okay,
got
he
this, okay, he did, and he has, normally a guest will call me once, twice, how many times did you call me, 15? Just to make sure that I had everything the right way?
13.
Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up a chair, okay, just in case he needs a backup or a parachute or something like that. But I'm going to hand this over to David Hoy. David Does Dishes. Go for it.
Let me know if I'm doing anything wrong.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Hi, I'm going to make a Orecchiette with Kale and Pancetta pasta dish today. It's a very simple dish, not too many ingredients, just a little bit of light prep, dicing your pancetta, zesting your lemon, which smells pretty good, and mincing your garlic. As far as pasta dishes are concerned, this isn't a very heavy dish. There's not a lot of cheese or sauce that is going to weigh it down. Just a little bit of buttery, garlicky sauce to keep it all together. I'm going to try to zest this lemon and not zest my thumb knuckle and forefinger knuckle at the same time. I don't think that would taste as good in this dish. I've got the pasta water boiling for the Orecchiette. I'm going to get that in there too because Orecchiette takes a little bit longer to become your typical al dente status versus other pastas, versus other thinner pastas. So we're going to get most of this lemon zested and try to not zest the rind, so I'll just cut it short of complete there.
Nice zester.
Thank you, Amazon. Okay, we're going to get the Orecchiette in the pasta over here in the water. Get that moving since our water is boiling pretty good, and we'll round out our pound of Orecchiette here. Now, like I said, Orecchiette does take a little bit longer to become al dente, but it is a disc-shaped pasta that will kind of invert a little bit while it's cooking. So you're going to want to make sure you stir Orecchiette a little bit more than you might other pastas because it is very prone to stick together.
Would you like to move that to the closer burner?
No, I thought
Okay,
you did
okay.
it because
Let's
you knew
make it a little more of a
I thought you
challenge
put it
for
there
him.
because you knew I could reach.
Yeah, a little more of a challenge for him.
So while we have the Orecchiette getting moving, we're going to start our pancetta. Just medium to low gas heat. We're going to have about 5-6 minutes of the pancetta cooking for the fat to render. And while that's happening, we're going to get the garlic minced so that can join in with it. Uh-oh. What's going on, guys?
I have to start it up again. Thank God I'm here.
Why is it off? Oh, did the water?
It's okay. It's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. I knew he kept you close for a reason.
Yeah, it's good. Rookie mistake. Yeah, a little closer to you as well.
You set me up for that one.
I did. Should have never told me it was easy. Yeah.
I said the recipe was easy,
Oh,
not
okay.
the process.
Okay, there you go. You're all set again.
Thanks. See? They've been planning this all week.
Tell them how you got to be on.
How I got to be on.
It was a Facebook post.
It was. It was actually New Year's Day. we were over at a friend's house, and a friend who likes to eat but doesn't like to cook too much, so I made steaks in a cast iron skillet, and a friend was over there and said, "Oh, we have to make a video of this," because I do make videos of things I cook every once in a while. And my friend posted it. This was, like I said, New Year's Day, and Lori saw the post and asked if, well, actually, when in this post I didn't have a shirt on, so
yeah, he was shirtless. It was on my friend Kim Smith's post, and he was shirtless. And he's doing it like he's got his own television show. And I wrote back, well, if the boy will put on some clothes, I'll have him on my show. Okay.
Actually, that's not what you said. You said, "Would the shirtless chef like to be on my show?" is what you said. And then I looked at it and I said, "I would prefer to have my shirt on, contrary to popular belief." But yeah. So, anyways, the banter never seems to end in that regard. And that's all right. All right, so the pancetta is cooking down well here. I don't put the garlic in just yet because I don't want to overcook the garlic. Let's give our orecchiette a little stir here and see if it's causing more problems for us.
Do you want to add a little olive oil to that? Do you ever do that?
To the pasta?
Yeah. Do you ever do that?
Sometimes. If I add oil to the pasta, it's something that I want to prevent it from sticking together as much. That's all right with this, because even so with this, when we strain the orecchiette, we're going to save some of the starchy water to add some of the starch back in.
Okay.
So it is going to be a little bit sticky at the end. It's going to stick together, and it's with the kale and the lemon zest. So it's all going to come together at the end in that regard. But I do once in a while. I always salt my water, but I only oil it on occasion. So we'll get the garlic in here. Your pan's nice and hot at this point. You just want to make sure that your garlic can brown a little bit. Just want to make sure you don't burn it, because understanding where you are at the stage of the recipe, your garlic's going to be in here for a little while. The garlic's already fragrant because, like I said, the pan's so hot. We're going to let this cook for a little bit. The next thing that's going to go in here, once the garlic gets a little bit more fragrant, we'll get the kale in here. We've got about half pound of kale in here, which is a lot of volume, but that will cook down pretty quick and get nice and bright green and get ready for us to put the orecchiette in there. I'll keep the lemon zest to the side. We won't need that for a little while. Thanks. The steam's going to rise up and cook our kale for us, but I still like to, where I can, turn it over a little bit for two reasons. First, to get the kale to touch the bottom of the pan, but also to get some of the garlic off the bottom of the pan, because like I said, your garlic can burn easily at this level of heat, which you need for the kale, but you don't want to burn your garlic, if at all possible. Then you have a dish with these little black bits in there, and people wonder what they are. Hard to explain. Oh, that's the garlic. It's supposed to be that way. Doesn't work that well. You can already see the kale is starting to cook down a little bit and is turning a nice, really bright, vibrant green, which is a good key to know when your kale is cooking. I can't remember which spoon I'm using for what, but I don't think it matters. Give the orecchiette another stir here. Still probably has about 4 or 5 minutes before it's ready to give a test. Okay. Okay.
So you need to take a break.
Okay.
Right? So you tell people you're taking a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break while the Orecchiette cooks, and then we'll continue in a few.
I think you got real potential, kid. We'll be right back with more Lori and Friends.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
And welcome back to Lori and Friends, the David Does Dishes edition of the show. For the first half, you saw my buddy David here, who wants his own cooking show. He could be adopted, too. You can bring him into your own home. He'll cook for you. No, he has a real job. David, what do you do for a living?
And a real mom, too.
And a real mom. She doesn't need me. Yeah. What do you do?
I'm a project manager at a mortgage banking software and solutions corporation. We cater to a lot of mortgage banks around the country, specifically warehouse lenders and document custodians. I won't go down into that too much, but it keeps me very busy. It's a technical job, and I work with a lot of great people. The corporation I work for is called MBMS, and we got purchased by a larger global corporation, Citus AMC, last year, so we're taking under that corporate entity now. So some things are changing, but all in good ways, and it's a very exciting job that keeps me on my toes.
So what do you do when you go in? I mean, what?
When I go in, I look at which emails I need to pay attention to, and every night before I go to bed, I look at my meetings for the morning so I know which things I have to do right when I get into the office, which I always have a meeting first thing in the morning for one of my projects. But it keeps me busy. Everybody that I work with and everybody on all my projects is really good to work with, and a lot of very smart, intuitive people that make me know that I always need to keep on my edge of professional development as well.
Okay.
But I do love to cook. I've been cooking since, on a small aspect, since I was a kid, helping my mom with certain things, and I worked in a lot of restaurants growing up, and cooking has always been therapeutic for me. I don't know about the word foodie, but I do love some really good dishes, and I cook a lot of dishes, and anything I pick out, new recipes, I'm always getting new recipes that I can cook, and whenever I pick something that I want to make and that I'm actually going to post a picture of or post a video of, I make sure that people are going to look at it and say, wow, I want to eat that. And this is one of them. This is a very easy dish. Like I said, a small number of ingredients, and something you could make in an easy weeknight, and I always make enough so I can have it for a couple days if I want to eat some for lunch the next day or dinner the next day.
Tell them what that is.
This is the starchy water the Orecchiette was boiling, and I took some of that out and saved it. So now that the Orecchiette's good to go in here, we've got a little bit of the water in here. So with the oil and the fat from the pancetta, that's going to start to create a little sauce. So we're going to simmer this all together a little bit, get everything to join together and become friends, and let this simmer for a little bit, and then we'll put our remaining ingredients in here to make our dish complete.
David, you look like you're kind of a healthy person, more of a, maybe you work out, you know?
Every Monday, I get to the gym and I try to stay healthy and in
So
shape.
is that why we have kale in this?
I could say that, and that would fit well. I'm not really much of a kale person. I try to meal prep and keep my Monday through Friday 8 to 5 dishes pretty clean and the healthy aspect, and I situate my macros around my workouts. I will cook some things that don't really fit into those, but those are pretty rare, and I'm usually not eating all those. Especially if I go to parties, I'll make some dishes like a sausage bread is one of them, and I'll eat one piece of that and let everybody else eat the rest of it. But that's the good thing about going to parties and bringing party dishes is I can make these things that I typically wouldn't make, have one taste of it, and let everybody else eat the rest of it. Okay, so that's going to simmer for just a little bit longer.
Okay.
And the remaining ingredients, we've got that lemon that we zested earlier, some butter, some crushed red pepper, some Parmesan, and some oil.
It smells great.
Yes, it does. That garlic's really fragrant. I think we'll start with the butter because that will make everything else easier to come together.
So we got to talk about David Does Dishes. Now you have a Facebook page. Do you have a YouTube page with it on yet?
Yes, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Look for David Does Dishes. Even though there's some underscores in there, I think just for the Instagram one, you'll find it anyways. I started to post some pictures and post some videos of different things that I make. And then a friend back in the fall wanted to put me on his podcast. So then that's when I made the separate page. So if he was going to refer to my Instagram page, I didn't want it to be my personal one. So we put that one together. And then I decided that if anything was going to come of it, I wanted to have the groundwork in place. So I actually got a website address, the domain name, with a little landing page for it. And I made the Instagram and the YouTube that everything really comes together. Once I post on one, it'll push to the other ones.
That might not be open yet.
Okay.
So you put it all on. Well, that's smart. Using social media to its nth degree.
Yeah, it's fun. So I'm still getting used to the format. I'm my own cameraman, so I try not to cut my head off in the middle of the picture. Sometimes it's hard to. Sometimes I have to sit down because I can't fit my head and what I'm cooking in the same image if I don't sit down. Spread the lemon zest around. The lemon zest in this dish is really. I mean, you think about the pancetta and you think about the garlic and all the good flavors in there. Every bite, there's a little bit of lemon kick, which is one of the most noticeable things in this dish.
So where are you finding your recipes? Are you finding them online? Are you watching cooking shows? Are you experimenting? What are you doing? Going to restaurants?
Most of my recipes I get from America's Test Kitchen and Cooks Illustrated. And actually one of the chefs from America's Test Kitchen is going to be here, I think, next month. And I might go to see him. But all the dishes there in America's Test Kitchen, my first one that I ever made on there was about 10 years ago, and I noticed what their process was. America's Test Kitchen is a 30,000 square foot facility in New England, and they make all the recipes. They'll take all the different phases and make them all several different ways. Then they'll let you know in the recipe why they chose the method they chose for that specific phase of the recipe. So based on the first couple things I made with that, I knew, you can have that, it's for you. I knew that if the dish looked good and sounded good, I knew it was going to be perfect as long as I followed the directions. I tell people I'm not a chef. I have spices in my cabinet that I wouldn't know where to use them if a recipe didn't tell me to. but I can do two things pretty well, and that's pick out good recipes and follow directions. So,
What more do you need in a man?
well, that's trivial as well. All right, so we're just going to let this simmer for a little bit.
Okay. Is
And,
it juicy enough? Do you need to put anything more in it? Is this what it normally looks like?
Yes, but if we put a little bit more in it, it'll get a little bit more sauce. Remember how I said it's going to be a little bit sticky, but that's all right.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right, that's
so
fine.
I'll just show you. No, hey, it's all right. That's why I saved this water, and it's not going to be watery because.
Well, it's starch water.
Yep. So it's just going to, and I find that it still even absorbs a little bit. But even a little buttery sauce mixed with the pancetta isn't going to hurt us.
So what would you serve this with?
Garlic bread.
Okay.
Garlic bread and a glass of wine.
Salad?
Or two.
No salad because of the kale.
Yeah.
Are you a simple person? What kind of dessert would you make with this?
I'm not much of a dessert person.
That's why I look like this and he looks like that.
But no, actually, I just don't have a sweet tooth. I'm not really appealed to many sweets. Like I said, it's nice because I'll make some brownies or something like that, or some lemon bars, and well, those might go with that because of the lemon in here. But I'll take a bite or two and then give the rest to other people, so I don't have to. But that's about it for me. A bite or two and then I'm good, and I don't want any more.
You know what would be good with this? Like spumoni ice cream. You know, because it's an Italian dish. Wouldn't you say it's an Italian dish?
Absolutely. Maybe I'll try that next time.
Now, your mom, and I just saw her on your Facebook post last night. Did she influenced you a lot? She a big cook?
She is. She's also very self-taught, and growing up, I was always helping start things when Mom was working late, so I got to learn the basics of things, cooking pasta, thawing meats, and cooking basic meats. And then working in restaurants, I got to refine it a little bit and learn more about different things, making pizzas and sandwiches and stuff like that. And I get to cook for my mom once in a while, but usually
She cooks for
have
you
dinner
still?
dates. Yeah, she'll cook for me. I'll cook for her once in a while, and
But you like going out to restaurants. That's how
yeah,
most of us are.
yeah, we try to get out at least once a month. Ready to give it a shot?
I am.
Okay. Make sure you get a big piece of pancetta in there.
I am loving it. I really am loving it. Since I'm keeping this at home, I'm double dipping. This is really good, David. And you know what? You're right with, the pancetta aside, which everybody likes that. Who doesn't like that? It's like people not liking bacon, right? But the lemon zest in it makes a huge difference.
And pancetta's not as salty as bacon. A little bit salty, but I salted the water for the orecchiette, so it doesn't even really need any more salt for this dish.
I mean,
Well, it's
really,
more too.
it's pretty healthy. Other than the carbs that you would have for the pasta, it's really light.
And carbs are healthy. I mean, as long as you situate them amongst your day easier, it's the saturated fat you want to kind of avoid unless you're a keto person, but we're not going to go down that road.
And the kale makes everything healthy.
Just add kale and you have an instant healthy dish.
Now, you told me that tonight, or keep in mind that we take this well in advance, but you're making a specialty drink for your folks tonight, too, at a party.
Yeah, for friends, actually. Yeah, it's a chocolate-covered strawberry martini. So we're going to puree some strawberries and freeze some chocolate syrup on the inside of the glasses and mix the strawberry puree with a little bit of half and half, some vodka, and some Godiva liquor.
I may make that myself tonight.
You should.
Just for myself. A really big glass of
Yeah,
that.
don't
That
drive
could be
anywhere.
Dessert. That
Yeah.
could be dessert. That sounds great, too. And I know that you like to go. Your friends all seem to love you, to have you over their house so you cook.
Yeah, I have a pretty small place, and once in a while I have people over and cook for them, but I don't mind that either.
So is it true? Do you really do the dishes when you're done?
I do them while I'm cooking.
Okay. You're a clean as you go person.
Yeah, I mean, I live by myself, so if I'm making a dish, even just making one dish such as this, or even a little bit bigger than that, isn't enough to fill the dishwasher. So I'm not going to leave dishes sitting in the dishwasher only to run it 4 days later when I'm looking for these. Where is this? I can't find it. Oh, it's dirty in the dishwasher. I don't want to leave things caked on there, even if it's a little bit of food. So
He sounds like a perfect guy, gals. He sounds like a perfect guy. Well, I am truly enjoying this.
I'm going to keep eating.
You keep eating. I'd probably serve this with garlic bread or just some Italian bread like I found at that other bakery that I was at. Very nice. And I'd make those martini things easily. You can find my friend David on David Does Dishes. I'm going to show you all the different places, but you could be his friend on Facebook as well, or Instagram. I don't do Instagram. I'm too old to do Instagram.
Stick to Facebook.
Oh, it's like Facebook. Stick to Facebook. I'll stick to Facebook. David Does Dishes, my friend David Hoyt. Yes. Regardless of what Kim Smith told you, you can come back up. I think you did a great job.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Great recipe. I'm sure we'll see more of David in the future. And thanks for joining us this week on Lori and Friends and David Does Dishes.
Bye, everyone.
Funding for Lori and Friends provided by Waste Management. Think green, think waste management.